Hey guys, Reckoning here, welcome back to Let's Read Katawa Shoujo, if that's what I decided to call this finally. Because this, I don't really consider it a game, even though the creators do, so you can call it a game if you want. I think of it more of what it actually is, visual novel, so let's read it, or experience it, or feel it, per se. Okay, now that I've wasted enough time, we're starting on Emmy's arc. So, if you do the math correctly, you know who's after this arc. Yeah, I have a reason for doing that, but this is Emmy's arc, not that one. Can you promise me to be more serious about this from now on? We have to say yes. Yeah, I promise. Definitely. He studies me for a moment, then shrugs, smiling again. Okay, that's more like it. If you go to the school track tomorrow morning, you meet my spy, who probably has no qualms offering consultation to you if you want to jog a bit. Consultation? See you around. He leaves with a wave of his hand and no answer, and I walk to Ren, who has been waiting, idly leaning against the hallway wall, staring at the pale lighting fixtures in the ceiling. Even when I approach, she doesn't move her eyes off them. Are you getting medications for your heart thingy? Were you listening? It comes out more accusatory than I intended, accidentally lashing out at her, or on her. But even so, I don't really want to start talking about it. I just met her, I don't know her, it's not our business. There seems to be happily ignorant about confidentiality, too, talking about that kind of thing in public. But it's not Ren's fault, is it? I look up at her, suddenly feeling a bit guilty, but Ren is just staring past my shoulder quizzically, her head tilted like a bird's. Sigh. I don't know why this is so hard for me. It feels like there's some inexplicable lock that prevents me from being more upfront about this. Yeah, they're for my heart. Will they make you better? No, not really. They just make me a little less worse. Ren keeps looking at me for a while longer, and she neither says anything further, nor displays any kind of emotion I can discern. I'm thankful that she doesn't. I think I'm still not quite used to all this. At the hospital it was easy, but I still haven't sorted my feelings about having to live a normal life with this disability. We leave the main building, and Ren leads us onward toward the dorms. We stop at the small patch of greenery in front of the dorm building. Actually, since this scene, takes a really long time, I think I'm actually going to skip it. Because we know what happens. We've seen this, 3 times? Something like that? No, not 3 times. At least twice. At least twice. So, I'll skip this. The sound of an alarm pulls me out of a fitful slumber and into the unpleasant state of wakefulness. I linger under the blanket for a few minutes, gathering energy to rise up while making excuses as for why I haven't already. Honestly, I wouldn't mind staying here for all day. School is surprisingly exhausting after a long pause, and the culture shock still has not faded, I think. I see what he's getting at. I was exhausted as hell after my first day back. To the point where I actually almost fell... Either I almost fell asleep or I briefly fell asleep first day back. I forget what it was. But yeah, I was tired. Still, despite getting an impression that skipping class is easy here, I don't think they're going to let me get away that easily. And the nurse is bound to keep breathing down my neck with the talk of exercising as well. So eventually I do rise up, swallow the morning medications, and put on my old soccer clothing. Thanks to my condition, I was exempted from taking part in gym classes at Yamaku, so I didn't get issued with a gym uniform. Yeah, that'll work. I'd order some to cover such a contingency, but wearing my old soccer clothes is kind of nostalgic. I can't use them for that anymore, so maybe they can get a new life this way, a bit like me. After all, I'm going to start taking care of myself. I can't afford to slack around. I'll start from the basics. Basics which include keeping the rest of my body in shape along with what little I can do to strengthen my heart. Maybe then I can go back to something approaching a normal life, or at least something where I'm less likely to fall over dead at any minute. I'm surprised to discover that I'm not the only one present at the track. Not just that, but it's a face I've seen before. The prosthetic-leg girl who bowled me over in the hallway yesterday is running on the track lithely, like a half-mechanical gazelle. What was her name again? It was a short one, but I can't remember. She seems to be running laps at a somewhat easy lope, her prosthetic legs clacking rhythmically on the hard track surface. Wonder what reason she has for running this early in the morning. Maybe it's something akin to mine, and the nurse is oppressing the poor girl to jog just like he is oppressing me. I certainly wouldn't be here if it weren't for my health, and this prompting me to do so. Even with things like they are, it's only because I wanted to get it out of the way early. The fact that I would be less likely to encounter someone who would witness my pitiful attempts to get in shape was merely a happy accident. I'd leave, but it seems my former assailant noticed me on our last lap. She waves at me cheerfully and jogs over. "Good morning. Your name's Hisao, right?" She grins, seemingly pleased that she remembered my name. "You may not remember me. Emmy, I knocked you over in the hall yesterday." "Miss Abarazaki?" She imitates Misha imitating Shizune, failing to get the same kind of subdued lilt into her high-pitched voice. How could I forget such a blunt introduction? Emmy has the decency to look vaguely apologetic for a moment before giggling. "Yeah, sorry about that. Again." Well, so long as you don't make a habit of it, I suppose I'll be fine." "Great." I'm not sure she realized I was joking. "So the spy consultant the nurse was talking about, is that actually you?" "That's right." "Oh. I was expecting someone from the nursing staff, to be honest." "What, are you saying I don't look like I could be a spy?" "No, this is more like a relief. I was afraid he would have someone watch my every move. Unless you're here to do exactly that." "No, I'm here for my own reasons." It's Misha's voice. Damn it, it's been so long I forget Emmy's voice now. Frig! "No, I'm here for my own reasons. The nurse just asked me if I've seen a messy herd transfer student. It looks like he's kind of lost around the track." It's not going to be her voice, by the way. "So why are you down here?" Emmy strikes a dramatic pose. "Training!" "For what?" "Track." "Ah, I see. You're on the track team, then." Emmy nods enthusiastically. "Yep, I'm one of the better runners, too. And modest about it, too." "Hey, you should join up. It's good exercise, you know." I think that much activity is probably out of the question for me. Nah, I'm not even sure that I really like running all that much. Plus, I'm just not into organized sports, you know? It's true, I never even really got that much into soccer. I mean, I'd run around with my friends and all, but that was really the only reason I ever played. It wasn't for the glory to be found on the field, that's for sure. Emmy seems to understand my meaning. I see. Not into the whole organization thing. But now that you're here, I guess we're gonna run together, huh?" "What? Sure, I guess." Emmy seems pleased. "Are you gonna warm up?" "Real men don't warm up." "Oh no, you should always warm up. Bad Hisao." She scolds me enthusiastically, but then smiles and leans closer. "I hate warming up too." She laughs suddenly. "Heck, and I don't even have to stretch my legs." As if to confirm her statement, she bounces up and down a couple of times, giving a passing impression of standing on a pair of springs. Her leg blades seem to be quite elastic. "Let's go!" I need to remember her voice. I mean, I'm doing her arc now. And again, I never really decided what her voice was going to be. This was the one that I couldn't do. Because it's basically an impression of the way Winslet did it. And I don't think I can pull that off very well. So we both take off around the track, and I can immediately see that she wasn't lying about being good at running. Emmy moves fluidly, throwing herself into the run with a sort of wild abandon. I find myself concentrating more on running properly. Hands spread, right? And something about hitting on the balls of your feet rather than the heels. I try to match my stride to Emmy's, but it's pretty difficult. Apparently I'm not very good at it. Maybe Emmy can help me with that sometime. Not really feeling up to more than a couple of laps to get today, and still will walk pretty quickly. Emmy keeps running and doesn't seem to notice I've stopped until she passes me a second time. She quickly skids to a halt, breathing steadily in contrast to my somewhat gasping demeanor. "Finished already?" I hang my head ruefully. Yeah. Not in very good shape right now. Emmy nods, then grins at me again. She seems to do a lot of smiling. "Well, the important thing's you started, right? Next time you just have to try and hold out longer, and then longer and longer, and eventually you'll be great." I'll keep that in mind. But I think right now I'm gonna go get ready for class. Shouldn't you? Emmy shrugs unconcernedly. "Nah, I got plenty of time." I notice that she's not wearing a watch. "Are you sure?" Another careless shrug. "Not really, but I gotta finish my routine." "See you later, Hisao." Yeah, see ya." Not sure whether this morning's experiment was a success or a failure, but I'll admit that I do feel slightly good about getting out there this morning. And just like Amy said, I need to keep at it in order to get better, right? Practice makes perfect, or something like that. It's nice at least to feel like I've taken some semblance of control over my own health. I'll have to try and keep this up. I head back to the dorms to wash and change to my uniform, trying to resist the urge to take a really long and hot shower. I'm tired from all the running, so I just went on one, but I don't want to break my slowly building routine of getting to school before the morning rush. After taking a long shower anyway, I dry myself off and get out of the stall to put on my clothes.
I'm skipping this. Don't worry. I skipped it.
That is time I will never get back. I'll get him for this somehow. But right now, I have to get to class. I'm the first person in class today, although I think I'm a little too early. Then again, sitting alone here for 20 minutes sure beats having to suffer that time with Kenji. The combination of fatigue, frustration, and boredom starts making me feel very tired. I black out for a second, waking up when my head hits the surface of my desk. Rubbing my forehead, I realize this is as good a reason as any to stay up for now and stop coming to class so early later. Eventually, I hear a tapping noise outside in the hallway, and Lily's tall figure appears in the doorway. She's not in this class, so she must have some of the business. Maybe she's looking for Hanako. Lily stops at the door, looking hesitant as if she was a vampire who can't come in unless invited. I consider doing so because she looks rather lonesome standing there. She steps in on her own accord, though, after straightening her skirt and shirt collar as if it was important to look prim when entering our classroom. Excuse me. She calls into the quiet classroom with a probing, delicate voice. I realize the silence might unnerve her because of her blindness, so I break it. Good morning, Lily. Hisao? Good morning. I didn't hear you come in. Wonder if she thinks it's suspicious I didn't say anything to her before. It's likely. If I were to tell too big a lie now, it would sink me. Well, I was already here, just asleep until now. Oh, have you seen Hanako today by any chance? No, she seems to come in only just before the bell rings. Or after that. Do you want me to tell her something for you? No, it's fine. It's strange, but I think we're the only two people in the school right now. I didn't hear anyone else on my way here. I shouldn't have gotten up so early today, I guess. You're chastising yourself for doing something that other people should? Punctuality's a good thing. I think so, anyway. It's a very busy morning today. Festival's coming up soon. Today is the deadline for event registration, budget reports, and any other official paperwork. It could be that everyone is trying to complete the necessary forms at the last minute. Maybe that is also why it's so quiet today.
Hi.
Oh god, Misha! For some reason, I really like my Misha voice. Not that I, do it a lot. It's like, this is the only time that I get to do it. Maybe I should do it in real life more. Then I get labeled as a freak. It's like, how the fuck is he doing that? And why does he sound so annoying? Let's move away from him and label him as a creep. Oh wait, they did that already. Never mind. Misha pops into the room with Shizune as if on cue, shouting with a loudness that makes Lily visibly flinch.
Hi, Hee-chan.
Feels good to do that voice again. Hi.
Look, it's the class representative. Hello.
Lily smiles, probably amused by Misha's or Shizune's use of the word look. Good morning.
Of course, you're not the representative of this class, right? Right.
I'm not. Lily seemed a little more guarded in her answers to Shizune than she was with me the other day. I guess they really don't get along at all. Then I realized that Lily might not actually know Shizune is present, and she's trying to detect whether or not she is, to who she is talking to. For all she knows, she's talking to Misha, but knowing that she and Shizune are practically inseparable, she might expect Shizune being the one that actually talks. Damn, how complicated. I decided to help Lily out for my own peace of mind more than anything else. You're here early, Shizune.
You were here even earlier than us.
Misha puffs out her cheeks angrily. Why is she getting angry? Does she feel emotions on Shizune's behalf too? It's not that weird, though, that Shizune didn't like my little comment. It's true, I was here earlier than them, so me saying something like that could definitely be misinterpreted as anything. Especially to Shizune, who doesn't have the benefit of hearing tone to gauge intent. Before I can start weighing whether or not I should apologize, Shizune's already moved on.
Class rep, it's a good thing you're here. We have to talk. The festival's coming up in 3 days, right? Every other class has handed in their projected budget reports for the events, even the first years, except you. Wah!
Yes! The ah, my God. I love my voices too much. There's still time to hand it in, isn't there?
Today! The deadline is today. You're certainly taking your time, aren't you? If I had it my way, I'd have all the necessary paperwork days ago, but someone had to say, the deadline, please extend it.
Yes, that was me. Planning something on this scale is not a small task, and a week is too small a time frame to expect a whole class to work out such a complex issue completely.
You want to know what's harder than distributing the funds for one class's event? Handling the same matter for every class in the school, and then some. The one who does that is me.
Misha puts her hands on her hips and stands up straight. Wow, she's really getting into the role. Lily doesn't look like she's very amused, though. Hey, Shizune, aren't you being a little too hard on her? There's still a whole day left. Please, Sasao, it's all right. Lily seems happy I'm taking her side, but a bit conflicted I might not think she can take care of herself. If this is about the budget, then I'm disappointed you think I've forgotten about it. I understand how important it is.
Then, can I have it, please?
Shizune, she might not have it on her at this exact second. It's not here right now. I asked 2 students to take care of it for me. Students from my class. She emphasizes the last sentence, much to my surprise. She knows about Shizune and Misha's efforts to rope me into the student council. I guess word must have gotten around, so now she's using it as ammo against Shizune. This just gets better and better.
It was your responsibility. A budget report isn't something you should just be delegating away. As a class rep, it's your job to be on top of things. This kind of disregard for proper procedures is really just terrible.
They completed it, being capable of doing so, but the students have been sick recently, so they could not come to school and give it back to me. If you want, I will apologize on their behalf for getting sick.
Okay.
Although Misha misses Lily's little jab entirely, Shizune doesn't, and she seems torn between being offended by Lily's daring and jumping at joy at the prospect of a challenge.
Lily, don't they live here at the school? That's a 5-minute walk, you know. What could they possibly have that prevents them from taking 5 minutes out of their busy lives to drop something off that will affect the enjoyment of their entire class?
Lily opens her mouth to say something, but Shizune closes the gap between them and starts signing furiously, waving her hands around like an orchestra conductor. Misha tries her best to convey the same passion, but she can't seem to lose her normal cheerful tone. The result is interesting and somewhat surreal.
And what's with that attitude? I said that it's not something you should be delegating away. Are you the class representative or aren't you? Tell me the names of those 2 students. They should have your job if you can't even handle something this simple yourself.
One form isn't the full extent of what I'm supposed to take care of. Lily's tone is growing slightly impatient, but she's doing a good job of not letting Shizune see how unsettled she's becoming. She's playing her cards close to her chest. Shizune, on the other hand, drops her fingers cheerfully along the edge of her glasses, knowing Lily can neither hear nor see how excited she is.
Of course, you do so much, class rep. It must be difficult being you.
Lily tightens her lips at Misha's words, clearly understanding the intent behind them, even though Misha delivers them without a hint of the sarcasm which they were meant to have. Shizune and Lily don't like each other. That much is clear. This seems a little much. It seems like Lily's had enough and is ready to push back. Obligatory body shot, it returns once again. I was actually just discussing the budget report before you came by. You must be very talented to have finished all your student council duties so quickly that you can track me down to make sure I don't forget my own.
Are you accusing me of slacking off? It seems like you're confusing me with yourself.
I don't think so. That would be a very difficult thing for me to do, comparing myself to you.
You're right. The difference between us is like heaven and hell.
And it's not hard to guess which one you might represent. Obligatory panty shot. The air between them ripples with the heat of their enmity. Well, not really. They can't disguise it anymore. Even Misha looks like she's beginning to understand the real nature of this conversation.
He-chan, don't you slack off either.
What are you talking about?
Aren't you taking part in the festival, He-chan? You are, aren't you? Then, I hope you're going to do a lot more to make sure it goes smoothly than this person.
I don't understand why Shizune's suddenly getting mad at me. Okay. I'm more of a fan of Shizune, so hate me if you want to, but I'm gonna... Yeah. Why am I being dragged into this again? I've done more than enough, I think. If you're angry with Lily, that has nothing to do with me. Now, wait just a second. Are you implying the President is more right in scolding me than yourself? Ah, damn, I think I could have worded that better. No, I don't know about that, but, I mean...
What are you saying, Hee-chan?
It's just that I hardly think it's fair you can say that, seeing that I've helped you guys. The mood's changed. This is like a showdown between two gunfighters now. Well, it was like that before, too, but this time Shizune's focus is on me. And so is Lily's, though she keeps quiet. I'm afraid I inadvertently pissed her off.
Are you saying I'm wrong?
What a dangerous situation. It's too early to argue with you. Yes, I think it's unfair for you to get on my case.
Hee-chan, you want too much, but you have a point. Okay. You're not lazy, Hee-chan. Wah!
I love that laugh! I'm excited for some reason. Shizune pushes her glasses up with her thumb, almost approvingly.
That's good. If you're not useless, you shouldn't let anyone say you are. But the next time I say it, it'll really be because you're disappointing me like Miss Class Rep here, so don't let this go to your head.
Lily takes the jab silently, a venomous visage frozen on her face.
Class Rep, Hee-chan says, don't forget that report, please.
I won't. Would that be all?
Yep.
Then, good day to you all. Her voice would cut the air of the classroom into half, if it was more tangible. Lily leaves the room, understandably in a bad mood, but still managing to be as poised and calm as usual. Usual? Yeah. Shizune, you really did go a little too far today.
It's true, Hee-chan. Just a little.
If I'd been expecting Shizune to grudgingly admit I have a point there as well, I think I was expecting too much. She doesn't respond.
Wah! Hee-chan thinks you should mind your own business. Hee-chan, we have a few last-minute things to take care of before class. We might be late, so can you please cover for us?
Yeah.
Perfect, yay, okay, thanks, Hee-chan.
Love that voice! Why am I so excited? It's 1:30 in the morning, okay. They walk outside even though there are only 10 minutes left before the bell will ring, signaling the start of class. Hanako doesn't come to the morning class at all, leaving her seat looking empty and lonely in the back of the classroom. I have to tell her that Lily was looking for her if I see her later. After the events of this morning, class is pretty boring in comparison. I turn the pages of my textbook lazily. We've been covering the same amount of pages each day, so reading ahead is more or less giving us a preview of what tomorrow's lesson will be about. The clock at the front of the room sounds unbearably loud. The teacher hasn't said anything in over 7 minutes, instead opting to cover the board in rows and rows of equations taken directly from the book. The rhythmic clashing of chalk on blackboard seems to synchronize perfectly with the ticking of the clock. I start to copy down the equations just to pass the time, not noticing Misha's head poking over my shoulder until she's almost on top of me. What are you doing? I try to strike a balance between being quiet enough to not draw attention to myself, but loud enough to draw hers.
What are you doing, Hee-chan?
Panic shoots through me as Misha starts talking at her normal volume, and I sputter out a hasty reply, stoking my voice down despite the fact that she just blew any hope of being discreet I may have had. I'm copying down that stuff. What are you doing? Why so loud?
Ah, really? But it's all in the book. That's why no one else is copying it down.
I know. Why are you so loud?
Why are you so quiet, Hee-chan? It's hard to hear you.
I look around to see if anyone is noticing our conversation. It's pretty obvious that everyone has, even the teacher. Shizune smiles coyly, and I start to wonder if Misha is doing this because she told her to. Is it because of what happened between her and Lily earlier? This is what I get for trying to be reasonable, for trying to take the middle path? Shizune is way too prideful, although by now I should know to expect that kind of behavior from her. Why are you doing this?
Huh?
Misha's totally oblivious to the awkward stare the teacher is giving both of us, while trying to balance her textbook on one finger. For a brief second it looks as if things could get ugly, but the teacher simply looks away, as if it's not worth the trouble. I guess this is a good thing, and I slump back in my seat in relief. The rest of the day passes by uneventfully, and this time I'm able to appreciate that it does. When the bell rings, I'm not in a hurry, so I stay for a while, reviewing what we covered in class today. I prefer to leave last anyway, so I don't have to deal with crowding in the hallways. I notice Shizune and Misha have also stayed behind, talking to someone from another class. Shizune's signing so fast that her hands make noises like swords cutting through the air. Misha's trying desperately to keep up, but it's clear she can barely manage to even understand her. I put my head down. Whatever they're discussing, it looks like serious business, probably way over my head. Not just that, but Shizune also seems angry, although it could just be her normal severity making it appear so. Shizune signs to the point where her wrists crackle and Misha struggles to spit it out in word form. Sometimes she trips over herself like she's dealing with tongue twisters, and then on top of that, she has to sign back anything the other girl says. It seems like a rough job. Misha looks tired, like she's about to faint. Luckily for her, their business is soon finished and the girls sit down in their seats again.
Why? I'm so tired.
She's hanging her head limply on her desk, looking exhausted. Festival preparations must be tough for you. Indeed, the people in the school seem to be taking the festival very seriously. Whenever I see people idling up around before and after classes, they're always talking about their plans for it. It's kind of neat to see everyone being so enthusiastic about it. I'm probably the only one who doesn't have something to do. Shizune starts signing at me and Misha perks up, looking at her hands with slightly unfocused eyes. She signs with harsh, heavy, dramatic strokes. Misha translates her signing into speech for me. She does it so well, it's almost like Shizune is actually speaking, transmitting her thoughts directly through Misha.
Well, we're in the student council, you know, so we're pretty busy.
Sarcasm?
Huh?
The tone of Shizune's actions make me think she's speaking with disdain, but Misha interprets it normally, replacing whatever intent may have been there with her own chip or twist on things. It's still disorienting. I don't think I'll ever get used to it. Never mind. How could I forget with you two trying to get me joined at least twice a day?
But Hee-chan, some could say the work is too much. It'd be nice if students were to show a little more support for their leadership, some appreciation to the ones who are working so hard to make it all possible. Maybe, for example, a little help. That's asking too much, isn't it? Yep, help would be appreciated, from students like you. If students would show their dedication to school spirit and offer some help, well, I don't exactly need it. But I wouldn't necessarily refuse it, so it would be nice if someone would... Oh, hello.
I look over my shoulder and see Hanako peering timidly into the room, most of her body hidden behind the door.
Hey, playing delinquent again?
Hanako blushes hard at Misha's straightforward jab, even if it was only in jest. Shizune stares at her probingly, causing Hanako to look down and start backing away to the point where only her fingers can be seen wrapped nervously around the edge of the door. Maybe she's showing her dislike of Hanako by association of her dislike of Lily. It appears so, and Hanako probably knows it as well. They seem to have momentarily forgotten about trying to get me to stay for the rest of the day. What is it, Hanako?
Has Lily been here? Sorry, Sato's not here. She came by in the morning, though.
Hanako keeps looking uneasily at Shizune, who stares back at her with her usual studying gaze. What is she trying to do? Of course, Shizune isn't going to look away, and she's intimidating enough as it is, so I can only imagine how terrified Hanako would be. It is a little funny, though, watching Hanako's reaction to Shizune's normal behavior. This is what happens when two people with two different extremes meet, it seems. Do you know where she is?
If she has any sense in her head, she's in a classroom working on the festival project, but who knows where that woman is loitering at. She might be slacking off somewhere, just like Hee-chan. Wah!
Damn, what is it with Shizune and her need to point out stuff like this? Hanako nods quickly and retreats with haste.
What are we talking about? Oh yeah, we were working really hard to make the festival happen.
And driving other people insane along the way. Well, good luck with that. I stand up to leave, making my exit before either of them manages to berate me anymore for slacking off. The halls are somewhat quiet, as expected. Everyone must be in club meetings or at festival preparations. Or both. Shizune's words about being a slacker echo in my head. I feel a bit guilty about not contributing, but I seem to lack the resolve to do something concrete about the matter. For the festival, it's too late already unless I can't helping Shizune and Misha, which I naturally don't. In clubs, I don't know. Maybe I'm not a club type of person. Halfway through the way from the school building to the dorms, I spot a figure in front of the dorms. It's Ren. Looks like she's working on her mural today, too. I walk over to her, but she doesn't seem to notice me approaching. She's sitting on an upturned box, looking intently at the wall she's painting with a brush held between her toes. The mural has progressed considerably since yesterday, but it's still only half done as far as I can tell. More colors have appeared, and the twisted human-like figures have spread and increased in number. I have to say, the style is eye-catching, very unique. Not that I would be knowledgeable about art by any measurable scale, but it's very nice looking nevertheless. I clear my throat to get her attention, but not startle her so much that her concentration will break. Wait. She doesn't even turn to check who it is. I'll wait. "15 minutes later, I decide that her concentration is indeed unbroken, and also that I have waited long enough to warrant poking her gently on the shoulder to remind her of my presence. Ren turns her head mechanically to my direction, ending up staring at my crotch level. Oh, it's a sow. She can tell? I would feel a lot less comfortable if she would look at my face. An astute observation. Hard at work, I see. The conversation starts as if I hadn't been here for a quarter of an hour already, but it's not a concern. At least it starts. Looking good. It does. The layers of paint hiding under the layers of paint, mixing and shaping the human figures really create an impressive look. But Ren looks miffed. You shouldn't comment on works in progress. 7 years of bad luck. Sounds terrible. I guess I'll take it back then. Still, it looks good. Wonder if I'll get 14 years of bad luck for thinking that. Ren turns back to look at her painting and pokes it with a big toe. Could you mix some of this color? I'm running out of it. She looks down at a half-empty bowl with the remains of the same pinkish paint in it. I didn't really intend to stay and help her with the project, though. I guess I didn't intend to do anything much. I look at Ren. She looks emptily back at me. Just this once. Ren picks up another brush and drenches it in another tone of pale red. There are dozens of similar bowls all around her working area. From the looks of this scene, she could have been sitting there for hours. I wonder if she has. That would mean she'd have been skipping school, though, which I of course wouldn't put beyond someone like Ren. I pour a little bit of the white and red into the bowl, trying to match the color with the one already on the wall. I can't seem to get it right. It's really inconvenient of her not to mix enough in the first place. Getting it to be exactly the same tone will be impossible, but I can at least try to get it as close as I can. Speaking of hard work, isn't that a huge workload for you too? Such a big painting and all. Oh, I'm not old and bitter enough to think like that. I guess you aren't. You guessed right. Legs hurt though. They feel like slugs. Slugs made of sea slugs. Because of the position? Yeah, I like doing it in a horizontal position more, if you know what I'm talking about. They can't be helped. Can't ask the ball to lay down. Saying that, she stretches herself a little, bending her legs back and back far more than a human should flex. It's astonishing how effortlessly she manages her body around. There's a small flinch in her otherwise blank expression, a hint of pain maybe, as she stretches out her calves. Ren must have stamina and dexterity far above a normal person to be able to live like she does, but she's wearing out working on this. Why push yourself so much? Take a break or something at least. Continue tomorrow if it's bad. This gives her a pause. A long one too, feeling like a mental yawn. I don't think so, Sal. I'm not pushing myself. Sure looks like you are. No, it's not about pushing or pulling or anything related to that kind of thing. There's this boy. A boy? Yes. Where? At the art club. And? He is blind. Oh. How can you paint if you're blind? No idea. So why is he there? That's the point. He is there. She really should speak more than one word at a time to make this feel more like a discussion less than an interrogation. He can't really do anything that you'd call art, right? But he comes there anyway, and paints. Why? I don't know. Why? I don't know. That's why I asked. So? He doesn't paint often, but I think his paintings are very interesting. I'm sure they are. I once tried that, painting with eyes closed. It wasn't too interesting, and cleaning up the floor took ages. Didn't try again. And he's becoming better at sculpting. I see. Maybe she was trying to make a point with this. Maybe she forgot she had one. Seems like the art club is full of interesting people. Not really. Pretty blunt statement, and she totally missed the sarcasm. No? Just like I said, not very interesting. I usually don't have much interest in people who are not interesting. Maybe you have. Maybe. That toy is interesting. Maybe I am like that toy. Or maybe you are. Maybe everyone is. Doing things you can't do, just because you can. That's pretty deep, I think. I tell that to her. You're a deep one. Nah, I'm a really shallow and thoughtless person. People say that to me all the time. Did you know I can only think of 4 things at the same time? No, but now I do. Right now I'm thinking of the second floor girl's toilet, ice cream flavored ice cream, the middle toe, and a haircut. I'm going to need a haircut. She shakes her head around vigorously, letting her short and messy hair ruffle wildly around. I can see that this is something she likes to do. We fall silent as Ren treads around absent-mindedly, poking some brushes around. The thought about the art club sticks in my head for a while longer. I'm feeling like I'm treading on very unknown territory with art. The way these meetings with Ren go, it's as though I'm starting a smoking habit or something. Really? He mentions that. Interesting. I should probably stop talking with her. Yeah. It's not like I dislike her, despite the confusion of her being self-causes. And I don't dislike art either. I've even drawn for fun sometimes. I just don't have a real creative drive or any technical skill. So usually if I were to draw something, I'd get white paper syndrome and just freeze completely. That, or I manage to draw something disfigured and promptly get frustrated at my inability to put the picture in my head down on paper, then call it quits without really even trying to make an effort. Ren clearly doesn't have this problem, but she frustrates me in another way. Being with her is like looking into a mirror that doesn't reflect anything. It makes one question the sanity of the act. Ren sits down on a box, swaying from side to side, apparently comfortable with the uncomfortable silence. She's staring at me again, or maybe over her shoulder. I can't quite figure out where her eyes are focused on. I'm thinking of leaving so she can carry on working undistracted and I can do whatever I'm going to do alone. It's not like I have anything that must be done today. Oh shoot. Who? Nobody. I just forgot to tell Hanako that Lily was looking for her. Do you know her? From my class? Oh, her. Mystery Toilet Girl. That person is funny. I saw her going to the toilet 5 times during one recess 3 weeks ago. I'm sure it's the world record. It was very mysterious. That's why you call her Mystery Toilet Girl? What other reason could there possibly be? Well, if there is, it's an eternal mystery. I didn't follow her in there. Maybe it was the week before that? Could have been. Looking at her makes me hungry. Don't say that. At least not around her. Was that a bacon joke? Damn! That better not have been a bacon joke. Ren turns and looks at me blankly, as if she's not sure why I reproved her. But she doesn't acknowledge understanding any more than before, so I give up at this point. So you want to go eat dinner then? No, not yet. Ren has turned her hungry gaze back to the wall, looking slightly more energetic, or at least slightly less lethargic than she did before. It's as if the wall is an opponent she has to vanquish, something she must overcome before she can indulge in dinner. This is the feeling I get. A weird sense of empathy overcomes me and makes me smile a little myself. For all her oddity, Ren's pretty cool after all. I'll be going anyway. Have fun. Ren's already grasped a brush and is dipping into fresh paint, so of course she can't hear me anymore or doesn't answer anything, even if she does. Yeah, whatever. Adhering to the nurse's nagging voice in the back of my head, I set my alarm clock to wake me up early enough to go jogging again. I made a promise and I'm going to keep it. Besides, Amy's bound to rat on me if I don't show up. But it's not all that bad. And with that, I'm going to end this part off. So next time on Let's Read Katawa Shoujo, if that's what I'm going to decide it's going to be called, and it probably is, we will go jogging, and I may actually find the decision that locks you onto Emmy's path. So until then, I'm Reckoning, you're the viewer. Leave me a like or favorite if you like this video, leave me a comment telling me what I can improve on or anything else you might want to mention. And until next time, keep on running, / keep being healthy. And I will see you guys in the next one.